Hey everybody! Lately I've been trying to find a consistent strat for the Arteria Elevator damage boost, and I finally got one I feel comfortable with. I'm not a fan of calling things free or easy because none of these tricks are really that easy, but after trying a lot of different things, I stumbled into something that works and it really feels a lot less stressful to me than any of the usual ways. I'm just going to show it, then I'll go into more detail about how to execute it. Before I dive in, the reasons I like this method so much are that 1, the inputs are very simple, 2, you don't have to be any good at aiming and shooting stuff on the fly, and 3, there's a ton of margin for error and a lot of things you can mess up and still have it work. Once you get the rhythm down, you never have to worry about taking the slow rail of shame again. Running into the room, you start out exactly the same as every other setup. Fire 2 missiles on the way in to kill this guy. You're going to be holding the stick to the right the entire time you're in this room. Jump when you're almost to the wall, be sure to hold down B for the full height, and when you see this ply up here start to turn around, that's the cue to wall kick. Bonk off the ply and grab the ledge. You want to mantle and slide. The trick can still work if you do the fast hop over it, but it's much more forgiving with the slide. On the way down, missile this ply. I know, I promised this method wouldn't need a lot of aiming. This is the only one you have to shoot and it's point blank. Killing this one makes the trick 100% consistent, but even with it alive, it still has a decent chance of working. After you land and run about 1 step to the right, jump and hold Y. This will fire a shot, but where the shot goes does not matter. I usually shoot upright at nothing in particular, but if it hits one of the plies or even if it hits the pinky, doesn't change a thing. The important part is you want to start charging the charge beam. Let go of B at the top of the jump, but keep holding Y. You'll bonk off the pinky, just ignore it and run right through. When you get roughly to the edge of the pinky, press B again. Your goal is to spin jump into this last ply. You should be holding a charge, and the pseudo screw effect will kill it. Samus is a lot bigger than a missile, and it's way easier to jump into it than to try to shoot it. Once it's dead, just run straight up to the wall, jump, wall kick at the top of the jump, and start holding L. Make sure you don't press L too early or you won't wall kick. You've got some time. Holding L makes you free aim to the right, and the ply is in the perfect position to charge and knock you over. And that's pretty much it. It just works. The most important part to making it consistent is missiling the first ply on the slope. If you can get that, it's practically guaranteed, and the timing after that point is extremely lenient. Even if you do miss it, it still works at least half the time, but the ply positioning isn't as good, so the timing's tighter. This method does take a little bit more damage because of the extra bonk on the pinky, but it's still quite doable tankless. Hard mode might be the only possible issue, I haven't tested that yet. I really like it because you don't have to quickly missile 2 things in a row or melee in the air. You don't have any awkward pauses and can just run straight through the room. You don't have to jump over the pinky, and the timing on the jump can be just about anything. It's also extremely forgiving, and there's a lot of different ways you can mess it up but have it work anyway, or be able to recover just by jumping again. So if you're struggling with the elevator D-boost, I hope this method works as well for you as it does for me. I am definitely going to be using this in all my runs from now on. Until next time.